Hey, how we doing? It's JJ. I'm on a day off today. I've actually returned to some semblance of work for the first time in 3 months, and I've worked a few days this week, but I've got a day off, so I've come out for a walk. And I need to show you this. Now, trees make me smile anyway. Everyone knows Justin loves his trees, JJ loves trees, but this tree, well, this always makes me smile. You see that? Couple of eyes, couple of little nicks in there for nostrils and a mouth. And obviously the eyes, they're there naturally. That's just a couple of knots on the wood, but obviously someone has at some point scored into the wood. It's not my thing, but it's a smiling tree. So we're just out on a little wander, and what I want to show you today is a couple of habitats that are quite rare, and it's just nice to go and explore different habitats and just immerse yourself in those and just see things from a different perspective and just learn. So I'm just walking down this trail. It's just going to bring me out into a little bit of a back road, and I'm not going to film while I'm walking down the road, so I'm just going to pop you up and pause, and then I'm just going to take you to the first place, so bear with me. Oh my days, I think I should have worn something else other than jeans. I am up to waist chest height in stinging nettles on a path that is properly overgrown. Sting, sting, sting. Right, just wind through these. Just got to watch my footsteps, because if I disappear into a rabbit hole or something, I'm going to go down in amongst all the sting nettles. Okay. Oh, this is brilliant. Okay. So I am just going to take my pack off, pop that down, so I've just crossed over that bridge that you can see just there, and this river, this is the River Bean. It's a local river to me. It's a river that I've grown up with. I just want to get my footing right. My whole life. Now the River Bean it's a small little river. It's only about 18 kilometres long, so just under 12 miles in length, and it originates just southwest of Sandon, up near Fairfield and Royston Heath, and it winds its way down through Watton Stone, and then it comes down past Frogmore Hall, Walken, the Frogmore Hall, then Watton Stone and Stapleford to where I am now, and it eventually joins just a couple of miles downstream from here. It joins the River Lee. Now what's important about this river is this is a chalk river. I've elaborated on chalk river before in another video, and chalk rivers are a really important habitat. Now it's just, the water is crystal clear. The reason that this water is crystal clear is globally it's estimated there are just fewer than 200 chalk rivers in the world, and around 80% of those are to be found in southern England. This is pretty much the northernmost part of the chalk river habitat. We've got the River Mim, River Lee, and the River Bean, and you don't get much more up there. Most of them are to be found in like Hampshire, Dorset and Sussex, and I say globally rare, less than 200 of them in the world. And what they mean by a chalk river is that the underlying geology is chalk, okay, and then obviously you get like a gravel bed sit on top of that, but the underlying geology is chalk. So the water filters through that chalk into the aquifers, and then it comes back up into springs where the rivers originate. And that means that by the time it's filtered through the chalk, the water is really, really clear. Now these create, because the water's so clear, you get a lot of water crowfoot, which is just down there, and which is really good for like caddisfly, nymph, you know, the dragonflies and all sorts. And the reason, another reason that the habitat is so vital, because it's so clear, is it's great for water voles, you know, ratty and that water and bank voles and that from, you know, Wind in the Willows, because their populations have decimated. And the problem is that we're into like 3 or 4 years of real low water. This river is generally separated into two halves. The upper reach, which is from Walken up to Sandon, it's pretty much been dry, so the watercourse level has dropped below from what you can see, and it's been like that for about 3 or 4 years time. It generally only starts flowing from around Frogmore Hall down to this region, and when the watercourse drops down, obviously there's not as much water flowing, and then the sediment builds up on the rivers, and the pollutants don't flow away, and that, oh my god, there's a couple of pike just gone past me, a couple of small little pike. Oh my god, that was amazing. Probably hasn't come out, but yeah, a couple of small little pike. Wow. Yeah, the pollutants don't flow away, and that really doesn't do the bank and the water voles any favours whatsoever. And what they're now doing is that the otters are now making their way upstream up along here, and there is obviously where you get otters, obviously they're part of the mustelid family. You'll also get problems with mink, and there is, just spin you around, I can't get too close to it. I mean, where's my foothold there? Yeah, can you see there's a barge there? It's what they call like an otter barge, or a pontoon. And what that actually is they put a tray in there with almost like a sandy sediment and that on, and what they're trying to figure out is whether it's mink that are coming up here, which will decimate the bank and the water vole population, or otters. There are a few up along this stretch of the river, so I'll actually try and get some pictures of this. So there you go, chalk rivers, absolutely fantastic. It does look amazing. I can't believe those two pike that just went past me. That was brilliant. Right, I'm going to stop this now because I want to get some pictures, and then I'm going to take you up just beyond here and show you the second habitat. Catch you in a bit. Hey, just come back in. It's part 2. I can't believe seeing those 2 young pike, and they're definitely pike. I mean, I do know my fish species. Along that stretch of the river, I mean, where I was just then was only about 6 to 8 inches deep, but they're obviously making their way past, because there are, just a little bit further down, some real deep pools, almost like sinkholes as such, and that pike and that sitting there, and that's just really good to see. So what you also get in the river, brown trout and bullheads. But what this place is, let me just show you. I'm out on a heathland now. It's a heath, semi sort of scrubland. Okay, and what this area is this used to be a gravel and sand extraction site. There's loads of them around Hertford, down on the lower parts of the Lee Valley. They did a lot of gravel and sand extraction here, and they stopped it in the late 80s, early 90s. I've known this place for ages, and then they're now turning it back over to nature, and that's really good to see. Now it's quite a scrubland is quite an important habitat, and the reason for that is they've just let it sort of go wild, and that again they're starting to plant some native oak, some field maple, some ash, and some hornbeam, and they're all sort of trees that are going to do well on the underlying soil type that's here. And the actual soil type, it looks really barren. Okay, it looks really barren, but it's very acidic. It's very acidic. It's nice to see a couple of walkers and that out here today. That's nice. Yes, it's quite an acidic soil type. It's scrubland, so nothing really grows too big and that here, apart from the tree species which they're helping put back in. But you get a lot of orchids. So we're into June now. Between June and August, you get some pretty important and spectacular orchids grow here. I'm not sure whether I'll actually be able to spot any today. You get a lot of minor bees. There's a couple of small little ponds on this heath, so you'll get, again, you know, dragonflies like common darters and things like that. And scrubland is a really important habitat, and there's not too much of it that's kind of been turned back over or reclaimed and turned back over to like a wildlife trust. This is managed by Herts and Middlesex Wildlife Trust, from the company Cemex, who used to do all the gravel extraction, and they work in partnership to help improve the biodiversity, which is really good. So you do, I mean, I've just, there's a train line just over there. Bloody typical, isn't it? A train will go past just as I'm talking. But it is a really important habitat. You get some tiny, beautiful little flowers and that down on here. You just see those? I mean, look how small they are. Tiny, tiny, tiny little beautiful flowers. And it's really important. I'm being really, really careful where I step to make sure I'm not treading on any little shrubs or flowers, because it's such a poor soil structure. You're crushing down the flowers. They will take years and that to recolonise and regrow and that again. There are some silver birches here, but they're trying to take a lot of those out, because silver birch are actually indicative of two types of area. Okay, it indicates a really, really old woodland. Okay, or when you get all them hundreds of little saplings growing up, they're then known as fast colonisers. So when there's a big open space like here, if there are some other silver birches about, they will colonise, they will rapidly grow, and they're trying to take those out because it's not actually a tree species that's indicative being found here. So there's just some old tracks from, you know, like there's a old broken road and that here. It's obviously from where the gravel lorries used to come in and dig out and load up. But otherwise it's a proper scrub heathland. And just as I walked up past the river, I actually saw a male bullfinch. Haven't seen a male bullfinch. He was resplendent, big black cap, big red breast, and haven't seen one in absolutely ages. So it's really nice just to come out here. There's some more flowers. Obviously you've got wild dog rose and things like that. There is a red kite just going above me. There's a few up there. So yeah, it's just nice to come out onto a different landscape. I've got a couple of books with me. I'm really trying to learn more about the wildflowers that you get around here, and the orchids. I certainly won't recognise many of the orchids, so I brought some books. But go and take yourself out onto a different landscape and learn about the habitat and the biodiversity and the wildlife that you get there. I'm going to stop this now because I'm going to have a brew. But yeah, just get out, explore, learn a bit about nature, because the more you know about it, you'll feel more at ease in the landscape. You feel like you belong, and you know what's around. You'll know what to touch and what not to touch. Try not to disturb things. So yeah, there you go. That's enough from me. Thanks for tuning in. Catch up again soon. See you later.